Hi Virgo, thank you for joining me. This is your May 2019 astrology and tarot forecast. It is Taurus season. We have a lot of Taurian energy in the sky this month. Now, Taurus is your sister sign. So this is very comfortable energy, very compatible energy. You're going to be feeling very in tune with yourself. If you're feeling a little bit off balance, it is likely to do with Saturn and Pluto recently going into retrograde in fellow sister sign Capricorn, your other Earth counterpart. And that is actually a very positive thing because it gives you time to reflect on what you've learned so far, in particular with your creativity, with what makes you feel passionate, what makes you feel excited. And it's a potential to transform in many ways. And this month, Virgo, a lot of what is going on is love transformation. So Pluto, for example, going retrograde in your romantic sector, the fun romantic, the beginning stage, the dating, the romance of everything. The retrograde there is also playing up with a new moon in Taurus, which is of course your ninth house energy, which is travel, education, but it's sextiling Neptune in your partnership zone. So when we think of the link between education and we also think of Saturn, which teaches us lessons, there's a lot of love lessons going around that you can benefit from. So maybe you've recently gone through some sort of experience where you've learned the way that you react to relationships or what you're bringing to the table, or if you're going for a specific type of person. This new moon in Taurus, although new moons are not about release, they're actually about manifestation, about creating a new pattern. This new moon is a wonderful time to plant some seeds. Taurian new moon energy is like fertile soil, and we're going to have Venus move into Taurus as well on the I believe it is the 9th of May. I could be wrong. I'll check my notes here. It is the 15th of May. But on the same day, Virgo, Mars enters Cancer. Okay, so it shifts out of Gemini and it moves into Cancer, which is your sector of social networking, communications with people. It can be your internet footprint, I suppose, with Mars going there. So for me, Virgo, I'm sort of seeing a lot of opportunities in the sky for you to progress romantically. So if you feel a little bit like your communication's been off with your partner or you're looking for love, May seems to be a wonderful time to get the ball rolling, so to speak. Because we have had a few tumultuous months in terms of Virgo's love life. And that doesn't mean that you've been going through the ringer necessarily, but it does mean that there's been a lot of feelings coming up regarding your romantic life. So that is something to bear in mind. Mercury in Taurus will conjunct Uranus on the 8th of May. And that can bring about exciting changes and exciting opportunities to travel, to venture out. It can also sort of enlighten you to a higher purpose of things. It's a wonderful month in many ways, but it also presents an opportunity that you would be wise to take. When Venus goes into Taurus, it's a wonderful time for romance, being present, being in the moment, walking on earth, walking on the grass in your bare feet, feeling at one with nature, committing to something. With all the Taurian energy, there's a feeling of not needing to complicate things so much, Virgo, and just being present. If you can work on one thing this month, it would be mindfulness, but I do see a development for you romantically if things have been kind of stagnant or things have been kind of lackluster. Because Neptune in your partnership sector isn't the easiest, just because you don't always trust yourself, or you don't always trust other people, or you worry about getting caught up in things and making yourself look silly. That's kind of a Virgo feeling. You don't do so well to get washed away, which is why Pisces is your opposite sign, But you're a sign of service, so you feel like you need to be giving something, and it can get you in trouble because then it can go out of whack. But Taurus season, I like it so much for you because you can plant seeds of security. You can learn to appreciate the simple things. You can get back in the moment. You can love simplicity. And you can attract in people that love simplicity. If you want to manifest a relationship, this new moon is a wonderful time to attract something wholesome. Attract somebody who loves the simple pleasures, somebody who is appreciative, because that's kind of the main quality you need. If you've been dealing with Five of Swords personalities where people have been taking from you or deceiving you or not coming to you with fair rules and boundaries, I guess. Two of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords, 4 of Cups, and the 5 of Cups. The Hierophant and the Sun. And underneath we have the Tower. Yep, there is great change, Virgo. There is great release. I like that. There's great release. So I know that you're probably looking at the 10 of Swords and thinking, yikes. Yikes. No. It's in your positive position. It's what's helping you this month. So what you're probably wondering why. The 10 of Swords is a release from something. When it's in the positive position, it is a clear signal. It is a clear indicator that the bad things that have happened will cease. It is the end to a negative cycle. It is the end to perpetuating events. It is the end to antagonistic relationships. It's the end to unhealthy attachments. And it's the end to the deceit that we were speaking about. You know, the 5 of Swords popped out for a reason. I think it popped out because, again, as I say, Neptune in your partnership sector, there can be a fog over the people that you trust. Your one-on-one relationships can feel a little bit tricky. We've had that because of Pisces season. We've had that because of Mercury retrograde conjunct Neptune. And we had the beautiful, beautiful alignments of Venus and Neptune, all in your partnership sector. But there was still this kind of opportunity to operate in the dark. Okay, so people could get away with more. With the 4 of Cups in the challenge position, you're rejecting unnecessarily. You're rejecting offers unnecessarily. Because probably of unfortunate expectations. And I say unfortunate expectations because it is what you're expecting. You know, you're expecting things to go wrong. The thing about the 5 of Cups always is that there is an offer behind him. There are still 2 cups standing. And the pessimist will say, well, there's 3 cups that have spilled. That's worse. What would be worse would be 3 cups spilled and nothing else to fall back on. 2 of Cups in traditional tarot represents an offer. A romantic offer. A partnership offer. With the Hierophant representing Taurus season. And the Hierophant is so appropriate, Virgo. Because not only is it a Taurus card, it is also about religion, spirituality in a more traditional sense. And that is what the 9th house is for you, which is Taurus. So you're getting all these lessons. Saturn has taught you lessons in your love sector. Neptune is teaching you lessons in your romantic sector. We think of, in your partnership sector, we think about your partnerships in your romantic life, and it's all coming to the fore is really very important this month. Travel is important. Expanding your mind is important. Being able to see things from a different perspective, all very, very important. But what you're seeking, Virgo, is some form of security, something that is more concrete. 10 of Pentacles. You're seeking a union. You're seeking something established, and you're seeking security above all else. So if you're seeking security and you associate relationships with betrayal, insecurity, and tower moments, they're probably not very high on your agenda. You know, you're probably thinking, security for me is going it alone, having money, and that being it. You know, sticking to my routine, sticking to what I know best. And that will keep you safe for so long. There is this expression about how ships are always safe at harbour, but that's not the way that's not what ships are built for. I never quite get the expression just right. It's just what comes to mind for me. you're kind of like the ship. You know, you have an adventure to go on, you have a journey to go on, you have voyages to take, and you're reluctant to cast off. And that's okay, because your experience is telling you that you've been rejected before. And your experience is telling you that you cannot always articulate to people what you actually need. Because you set this pattern, you set this habit, because Virgo is a sign of habit. You form habits, you know. And when you set this precedent of, no, I'll look after everything, I'll look after you, you know, the other person sometimes has no option but to go along with it. In more extreme cases, Virgo, you're getting so little back that you're burning out. So what's different about May? Well, what is different about May is that with 9th house energy, which is that joyous Sagittarian house, you know, it's the optimistic house. So I love that house. It gives you a sense of optimism, a sense of freedom, and it gives you room to breathe. It gives you room to reassess. And with both Saturn and Pluto in retrograde in Capricorn, you get a break from having to get all the answers. You get a break from having to really assess what fun means to you. Because having two planets like that, such heavy planets in your sector of fun, seems so contradictory. It's an oxymoron. But with the Hierophant and the Sun, if you're going to commit to something this month, it's going to be committing to something that brings you a lot of joy. Firstly, you need to turn around. So if you're facing the past at the moment, which you are, if you're feeling very upset about events, if you're feeling as though events are shaping what's happened now, that means that you are looking towards the past and you need to turn around to the future. If you're constantly looking to the future with anxiety, you need to turn around and look at what has gone right for you and how many times you've made it work. The key here, Virgo, is simply to turn around. Regardless of which way you're looking that's not making you happy, the 2 of Cups, the 5 of Cups always means that there's something behind you. So whatever, it depends on the way you're facing, of course. But there is an offer of romance for a lot of Virgos. In fact, for a lot of Virgos, it's actually an offer of a partnership, a commitment. The Hierophant and the Sun, oftentimes, for me, I've seen, represents a partnership with somebody who has a lot of longevity to it. You know, a long-term relationship, something secure. The problem is, Virgo, is that you are the man in the 5 of Cups where he's looking towards the 3 that have spilled. If you turn around, because the offer's here, if you turn around to, say, the Taurus or the Leo or whoever it is and say, I'll give this a go, you'll be fine, because the 10 of Swords here means it's not happening ahead of you. It's in your positive position, meaning that's done. So you're in the yellow bit, you're in the yellow sky where the sun is beginning to rise after the darkness. And I'm a big believer that it's a sunrise rather than a sunset, you know. They say it's always darkest before the dawn, and I think that's a very 10 of Swords energy. 4 of Cups here is your problem, is that what you reject will be a missed opportunity. And the thing about the Tower as well, the Tower is, for me, kind of the most eerie sense of reassurance that you're not gonna build something that can't last this month. Because that Taurus season is so... it is the opportune time to seek security and seek opportunities that you can build upon. You know, it's not as though it is Aries season where you just rush into something and rush out again. Or it's not like Pisces season where you sort of go with the flow. Or, you know, whatever. It's a time when you can really sow some seeds and watch them grow. You know? And there's going to be a full moon in Scorpio. And I think this is why your 10 of Swords and your Tower cards are coming up. The full moon in Scorpio inevitably reveals important secrets. And a lot of people think that there's someone else's secrets that affect you. But oftentimes we hold more secrets from ourselves than anybody else, because we don't always know what's in our subconscious. We don't always know what is shaping our behavior. We don't always know what is creating the future from a fear-based perspective. And I think probably, Virgo, you're coming face to face now that Saturn and Pluto are retrograding in an earth sign, and Uranus is in an earth sign. The sense of internal revolution is very strong, okay? Particularly in Taurus season, because it is going to conjunct Uranus. We began Taurus season with the Sun conjunct Uranus, and then it's going to be Mercury conjunct Uranus on the 8th. There is a bit of a revolution for earth sign people. And you know, it's a good thing. It's a great thing. Because the Hierophant and the Sun promises you something that is so worthwhile committing to. Whether it's a person, it could be a job, it could be an offer. There is an opportunity if you would just turn around. So, that being said, I'm going to go into the Animal Spirit deck. The Sun also came up for Scorpio. But the Sun in Taurus, that's just what this is. Sun in Taurus. It changes stuff up. Ah, the Sea Serpent. Wow. And the Camel. The Camel and the Dolphin. Yes. How lovely. I love the way the colours match in this. You see the Sea Serpent and the Camel, they're so beautifully connected with the black and the blue. And then we have a little vivacious dolphin coming into the mix. So I'm still learning these. So I'm going to read to you what the Sea Serpent means, because I've never drawn that card before. So I feel as though it's going to be big, because it's in the spiritual sector of the book. Let me see. Ah, healing emotional wounds. Oh, this is so perfect. The Sea Serpent represents the energy of expression. Whether it's emotions, creativity, sensuality, or desire, the Sea Serpent helps us move and direct our energy into a healthy current. With the essence of this card in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. Now, funny Virgo, you are the sign of the Virgin, and there can be those kind of inner narratives. A lot of Virgos are celibate, or a lot of Virgos have unhealthy relationships with sex, possibly because of the insinuation of your sign. But it's actually just to do with shame, because Virgo, out of all the people I know, nobody shames themselves harder than a Virgo. But without the shame, you'll know what you desire. So your heart will be at ease and your relationships will be meaningful and enduring. Enduring is a very good word for the Hierophant, I must say. We loosen the grip of self-judgment and we let the cool waters of forgiveness in to heal our wounds. When the energy is not yet activated and our emotions and creativity are left in the muddy waters. The current of expression stagnates in some areas of our life, and in other places it floods. It's important to remember, no matter what, that the waters of our emotional lives look like, the Sea Serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps herself around us in a gesture of protection. She supports us and we learn to express our true natures. Somebody just wants you to be yourself. That's all. They don't want anything fancy. They don't want anything other than you. Now the Camel, resourceful, independent, and knows oneself. The Camel can handle absolutely anything as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. That's what we were saying earlier about that 5 of Cups. If you're looking towards the future with anxiety, look back and see how much you have endured. Even in the face of excess heat, the Camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. The Camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance, fire and water. So it's a little like temperance and being responsible for one's own reactions. The Camel is a wonderful traveller and is especially fond of trips to faraway lands. Now that's fascinating, because Taurus season is 9th house energy, all about travel and expansion. That's perfect. That makes so much sense. Now the Dolphin, let's have a look at him. Innately intelligent, healer, light, blessings. Well, that every Virgo is intelligent for sure. Dolphin personalities are often drawn to the healing arts as they're sensitive to the subtle and enjoy working on the level of spirit. So you may be working in some sort of spiritual practice, or learning more about a spiritual practice. It's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact they make in the world. That's you guys for sure. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming in contact with a dolphin type will change the entire course of your day and thus your life. This card can indicate a profound blessing is on its way. So I hope that gives you some hope, Virgo. It is the end of a 10 of Swords cycle and the beginning of the sun. If you just keep your perspective healthy, keep looking at the 2 of Cups rather than the 3 that have spilled. Keep positive. Things are changing. The sea serpent is here to protect you. The camel, it knows that it can handle whatever happens, and the dolphin means that you are changing people's lives in ways you don't recognize. It's all connected. It's all happening for a reason, and everybody just wants you to be yourself. So I hope you enjoyed that reading, Virgo. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next set of readings. Bye.